It was a hard act to follow, but the Prince of Wales did just that, addressing the crowd.
My father has always understood that people of all faiths, all backgrounds, and all communities deserve to be celebrated and supported. Pa, we are all so proud of you. And I also want to express my pride and gratitude for the millions of people who serve in the forces, in classrooms, hospital wards, and local communities. Your service inspires us, and tonight we celebrate you too.
And when there weren't stars on the stage, there were lights in the sky. This incredible drone show over the skies of Windsor, delighting thousands.
It's one thing to witness the coronation of King Charles from within the walls of Westminster Abbey, and it's another thing entirely to do it while sitting beside the one and only Lionel Richie.
Very cool.
Former Foreign Minister and now Minister for Fun. And Chair of the Prince's Trust, Julie Bishop, joins us live in London now. Hey, Julie, nice to see you. You look stunning. How was the night?
Indeed.
It's been an extraordinary weekend, and London is still partying, and of course the concert at Windsor Castle sounds amazing. The Prince's Trust sent along our young graduates from our program. So Taylor, the young Indigenous girl from New South Wales who accompanied me to the coronation, is out there listening to Lionel Richie now, so it should be a fabulous evening.
I mean, Julie, you had the best seat in the house, right? We're seeing pictures of you there, right next to Lionel Richie. I mean, that's extraordinary. It must have been quite special.
Yes, it was an extraordinary occasion. It was so steeped in beauty and pageantry and religious and historical significance. But when I arrived, I found that Lionel Richie, who is a global ambassador for the Prince's Trust, was sitting in the second row and I was seated next to him. So that was pretty exciting. And we were there hours before the dignitaries arrived. So everyone was milling around and talking and taking selfies. And so I just snuck a selfie in and put it up on Instagram. And this morning I see that Lionel Richie has put a little emoji smile. So he obviously got a kick out of it as well. But it was just a beautiful ceremony, and I had a pretty uninterrupted view of the dignitaries and the royal family as they walked down the aisle.
Did you catch up with Hazza?
He wasn't there for long.
No, he was whisked away pretty quickly by the things. But anyway, it was a beautiful event, and I was so privileged to be here, as were the 2,300 people who were invited into Westminster Abbey. And I think everyone was just quite taken with the occasion. In fact, I'm lost for superlatives. I can't think of any more words that I can say to describe what was, for me, a once-in-a-lifetime event.
Do you know, like, some of the criticism is, oh, well, it didn't really showcase a new era for the royal family, but I kind of loved looking back at the old traditions and all that pomp and ceremony. I really dug it.
The ceremony was very similar to Queen Elizabeth's back in 1953, but it was a very different coronation in the sense that it was much smaller in scale, and there were hundreds of young people who were invited. Prince's Trust alone had 50 young people from the 20 countries where we do our work, including from Australia, Canada, New Zealand, Jamaica and elsewhere. But there were about 400 young people that the King has been involved with charities that support them, and they were all in Westminster Abbey. So there was a very different feel in the Abbey because there were so many young people there.
Just before we go, Julie, because we need to let you go and to be free amongst the revellers, Sarah and I have just been admiring your beautiful dress. Who's it by? You know, all the details.
The one you're wearing now.
The dress I wore to... Oh, the one this is Camilla, another Australian designer. I've taken the opportunity while here to promote Australian designers, and I wore Zimmerman to the Abbey, and a collaboration between Nerida Winter and Zimmerman and David Jones for my hat. And then this is a Camilla. It looks kind of like the coronation, don't you think?
It does.
So it's a party top.
Right.
I love it. You always rock it.
Yeah, always nail it.
Sartorial choices every time.
I do love Zimmerman's latest range as well. And you can watch the King Coronation concert on 9 and 9 now from midday today. Thank you. Welcome back to the show. Anne Reynolds was just 11 years of age in 1953 and was in the crowd on the Mall as Elizabeth II was crowned Queen.
Now, 70 years later, Anne has returned, travelling all the way from regional Victoria to watch her second coronation, and she joins us now from London. Anne, how are you? Geez, last time you were there watching was 1953.
I'm good, thanks, and it's great to see you too as well back home in Australia. So that's good. I'd been to Europe. I actually am English. I was born here, and I'd been to Europe on a holiday. I was back coming through London to go home, and it was Coronation Day, so we just stopped and watched the whole thing. And as a child of 11, it was just magical. And to this day, I still remember it very clearly. So I thought I'd come back and see another one.
So regal. You saw the beginning of Elizabeth II's reign. Now you've seen the beginning of Charles III's. What do you make of the two? I mean, given there's been such a long time between, what was it like in comparison?
Well, 70 years is a long time, as you just said. And, you know, all I can remember is that it was fun. It was wonderful to see. This time around, being obviously an adult, I've just enjoyed it probably to the point of it's just wonderful to see the way they present everything. And I have to say it, and I've always said it, being a Pom myself, the Poms just do this pomp and pageantry brilliantly. So it's very exciting to be involved and just to be around it all.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess it was a little bit pared back, but still, as you said, the pomp and pageantry on full display. Now, you had a close moment with King Charles the other day, did you?
Yeah, I did. Well, we'd come off our flight on Tuesday night. On Wednesday morning, we needed a good walk. So I said, let's go down the mall. Let's go to Buckingham Palace to my daughter. And we were walking down, and I said, I think this is the place where I was all that time ago.
Oh, wow.
And so we stopped, and I said, oh, I'll wave. And as I was waving, we heard the traffic and the motorbikes, and lo and behold, there came King Charles driving by. He was going to practice at the Abbey.
You know, I've been there a few times and seen some celebrations. It's still one of the really cool things about London town, to see the royals go past. It's like ain't no thing.
I know.
You know, just wave
cool,
at them. Did you get the chance to have a couple of champagnes?
Yeah, we did. I'm here with my daughter, and yeah, we've had a couple, but you know, not too many. I wanted to make sure I've seen and done everything before I go back.
Yeah. Well, so what's your standout?
I just think, for me, just seeing a new king and Camilla. And look, most of the things that I love is the military, the music, everything connected, that sort of stuff. I love it.
Yeah.
I watch it all the time at home.
I find that kid fascinating to look at too, Louis.
Prince Louis.
I tell you what has been one of the biggest standouts has been watching those royal children.
Yes.
They're wonderful.
Yeah, they sure are.
They are really wonderful children.
He's such a character, Prince Louis,
She's
isn't
an
he?
incredible mum under huge pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like watching her is, and we're going to take a close-up look at that in the next 10 minutes. But fantastic stuff. Great to take a trip down memory lane with you.
Thank you, Anne.
Thanks, Anne. Nice to see you, and safe travels.
Hey there, Today fans. Sarah and...
What's my name again?
Oh my God, Carl.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel, though. Subscribe now for more news, special reports, and amazing Aussie stories.
And Carl misbehaving,
Whoa,
of course.
that never happens.
Always happens.
What's she talking about?
Always happens.